Red, red wine goes to my head, makes me forget that I still love you so. Red, red wine, it's up to you. All I can do, I've done. Memories won't go. Memories won't go.
Black Jacks started in Hotel Mehran discotheque and ended in Hotel Mehran. That was maybe 10 years later. That lounge that they had down there is still the cover lounge. Only thing, they don't have a band anymore.
We would get a lot of hippies who would come, and they used to stay in the hotels in Sadar. You know, all those really small-time hotels, they would stay there. So they used to freak out when they would see that, you know, we are practicing by listening to a tape recorder. And they would say, how is it possible that you can do this? And then he said, that's all we do. We just play the parts and put all the parts together, and you have the music.
The band leader at that time was Glenn Boyle. He was a bass guitarist and singer, and he was basically the front man of the band. And he would, you know, interact with the public and with the audience. And he was one of the main reasons why the band got so popular, because of his interaction with the audience. Our music may not have been of that quality of some of the other bands, but definitely we were very popular because of this factor.
A bar in Toledo, across from the depot, on a bar stool she took off a ring. I thought I'd get closer, so I walked on over. I sat down and asked her name. When the drinks finally hit her, she said, I'm no quitter, but I finally quit living a dream. I'm hungry for laughter, and here ever after, I'm after whatever the other doth bring. In the mirror I saw him, and I closely watched him. I thought how he looked out of place. He came to the woman who sat there beside me. He had a strange look on his face. The big hands were calloused, it looked like a mountain. For a minute I thought I was dead. But he started shaking, his big heart was breaking. He turned to the woman and said, I picked a fine time to leave me, Lucille. 4 hungry children and a crop in the field. I've had some bad times, lived through some sad times. This time you're hurting, won't you?
The drastic change that came in when Zia-ul-Haq arrived. The first thing they did was close down all dancing places. All the discos were closed, all the bars were closed, everything was shut down, period. So most people lost their jobs. There was no music.
We sort of belong to this country, but we don't belong to the culture. And slowly that has changed even more. Our culture has not changed that much, but the culture around us has changed. So now we sort of feel like misfits.
America had come up with some policy that they were taking people who were willing to work on farms. All the band boys who wanted to get out from here because there was no music anymore over here, everything was closed down, they all enrolled in that program, and a lot of them went. Some of them could not stay back, they were sent back. But most of them, they all ended up in the US. And somehow or the other, they all ended up in Miami.
There's been a mass migration. The guys who used to do the pianos, they've gone. All the musicians, it's a whole culture, and it's just going to die, you know, because we're killing it.
The main streets like MacLeod Road, for instance, the name has changed. Elphinstone Street, the name has changed. So there are lots of streets that, you know, names have changed during my time. We've tried to erase our past, the British past as such.
There were rules in Karachi that your shop will open at this time. If it wasn't open, they would fine you. At least if it did not close at 6 o'clock, they would fine you. And if they found garbage lying in front of your shop, they would fine you. The city was planned in a certain manner, and it grew in a totally different manner. I personally think that it's very difficult to stop the rot.
These days there's overcrowding in terms of you had a lot more open space because you had large low buildings, bungalows, as opposed to high rises. You certainly didn't have as many cars and motorcycles on the street. You didn't have that many people. I think the population at that time would have been less than 1 million. Look at it now, it's more than 14 million.
The war in Afghanistan, I think brought a lot of crime and the Kalashnikov and the heroin culture, and tolerance went up in smoke.
When there was no prohibition, okay, we used to find drunks on the road and whatever, but there was very little violence out on the street as compared to today.
In Karachi in those days, if in a place like Golimar somebody fired a shot, even just in mid-air, the whole city would know that there was gunfire. One bullet.
Four or 5 o'clock in the morning, you walk the streets and a policeman with a big danda, just no guns, nothing. Say, Saab, theek hai. So, you're happy? You say, yeah. And of course, we all a little bit tipsy here and there, and it's no problem. So we had a lot of freedom those days, and I don't think so those days will ever come back. In this country, of course, I don't think so.
Got a black magic woman, got a black magic woman. Yes, got a black magic woman, she's got me so blind I can see. But she's a black magic woman, she's trying to make a devil out of me. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't turn your back on me, baby. Don't mess around with your tricks. Don't turn your back on me, baby, 'cause you might just wake up my magic.